Okay, wait, don't scroll. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. You saw the title, you made a face. Maybe you even winced a little. Stop, because here's the thing. This isn't a weird video. This isn't a gross video. This is actually one of the most beautiful, mysterious, and misunderstood traditions in all of human history. And the crazy part, most people have no idea why it started. None. They just see a photo, feel a little shocked, and scroll right past. But you're not going to do that, because by the end of this, you're going to see these people completely differently. I promise. This is a practice that stretches back thousands of years. It shows up in Africa, in South America, along riverbanks, and deep in rainforests. And the reasons behind it? Oh, they're way stranger and way more human than you'd ever guess. So today, we're fixing this. We're going deep. Let's go. First, let's get one thing straight. Lip stretching is old, like really old. We're not talking a couple hundred years. We're talking thousands. And here's what makes it so fascinating. It didn't pop up in just one place, invented by one group, and then spread out. Nope, it appeared independently, all over the world, in cultures that had zero contact with each other. Ethiopia, Sudan, the Amazon, parts of West Africa. Think about how strange that is for a second. Different continents, different languages, different gods, different everything. And yet somehow they all landed on the same striking idea. Stretch the lip, insert a plate, make it beautiful. That's not a coincidence you can just wave away. That's a genuine historical puzzle. And before we get into who did what, you need to understand something crucial. For these ancient people, this was almost never about being different for the sake of it. It was about meaning, identity, beauty, belonging. And once you get that, the whole story cracks wide open. Let's start in Ethiopia, because Ethiopia's Omo Valley is where this tradition is still alive today, right now, in the 21st century. The Mursi and the Surma people are famous for it. Young women, around the time they come of age, have their lower lip pierced. Then slowly, carefully, over weeks and months, it gets stretched. A small plug at first, then a bigger one, then eventually a clay or wooden plate. Some of these plates are small, others are the size of a saucer. It's honestly incredible to look at. But here's the wild part. Historians and anthropologists still argue about why it started. Some say it marks beauty and maturity. Some say it once signaled a woman's readiness for marriage. And there's another theory, a darker one. Some believe it may have started centuries ago as a way to make women look less appealing to slave traders, to protect them. Now, we're not fully sure that's true, but think about that for a second. A symbol of beauty that might have been born from a need to survive. That's heavy. And it tells you these traditions are never as simple as they look. Now, here's something I really want you to sit with. In these cultures, the lip plate isn't a costume. It's not decoration you throw on for a festival. It's a language. It says things. In many Mursi and Surma communities, the size of the plate could carry meaning. It could reflect status, standing, a woman's place in her community. And in a world with no ID cards, no paperwork, no social media profiles, your body told your story. It said, "This is who I am. This is where I belong." You couldn't fake it. You couldn't buy it overnight. You earned it. You wore it. It was yours. And think about how powerful that is. We spend billions on clothes and makeup and filters to say the exact same thing. Look at me. See who I am. These cultures just did it in a way that feels shocking to us, but the human instinct underneath, it's identical. Now let's cross an entire ocean, all the way to South America, to the Amazon rainforest. Because remember, these people had zero contact with Africa. None. And yet, forms of lip modification show up here too. Among certain Amazonian peoples, like some groups connected to the Suya and others, lip discs and lip plugs appeared as well. And often, here's the twist, it wasn't only for women. In some of these cultures, it was the men who wore them. For these groups, the lip plate could be tied to speech, to sound, to oratory. A man who could speak well, who could lead, who could hold the group together with his words, that mattered enough to mark it right there on his face. Different continent, same deep human impulse. The body as a canvas, the face as a statement. And that right there is the mystery at the heart of all of this. Why do humans all over the world keep landing on the same idea? Let's keep going, because across so many of these cultures, there's a thread tying everything together. This wasn't just a quick, casual thing. It was a rite of passage. Picture it, a young girl, the whole community around her, the piercing, the waiting, the slow, patient stretching over months. This was a journey, a crossing. Before it, she was a child. After it, she was a woman, ready to take her place in the world with all the responsibility that came with it. And here's what I find genuinely beautiful about it. This wasn't cruelty for the sake of cruelty. It was transformation. The care, the ceremony, the time it took, it all had a purpose. It told her, you are not who you were yesterday. You have grown. You have arrived. That's powerful stuff. And it's something almost every culture on Earth has needed in one form or another. All right, let's take a breath, because now comes the question you've been waiting for. Why? Why did ancient humans in totally separate parts of the world start stretching their lips in the first place? And the honest answer? Nobody knows for sure. But anthropologists have some fascinating theories. Let me give you the big ones. Theory number 1, beauty and identity. In many of these cultures, the lip plate was simply seen as stunning, as the mark of a woman fully grown, fully herself, fully beautiful. Beauty standards aren't universal. They're invented. And these communities invented their own. Theory number 2, status and belonging. A visible, permanent sign that said, I am one of us. In a tightly knit community, knowing exactly who belonged and who didn't, that mattered a lot. The plate was proof. Theory number 3, marriage and maturity. In some traditions, it signaled that a young woman was ready for marriage, ready for adult life, ready for a new chapter, a before and an after, written right on the face. Theory number 4, and this one's debated, protection. That old, darker idea that it may have started in some places to shield young women from being taken by slavers. A survival strategy that slowly, over generations, transformed into a symbol of pride. And here's what's wild. It's probably not just one of these. It's likely several of them, tangled together, shifting across different cultures and thousands of years. The act stays similar, but the story behind it? That changes everything. Now let's talk about today, because this isn't just ancient history. This tradition is alive, and it's changing. In some communities, especially among younger generations, the lip plate is fading. Tourism, outside pressure, modern life, they all play a part. Some young women choose not to do it anymore, and that's their choice to make. But here's the twist you might not expect. In other communities, it's actually becoming a proud symbol of cultural identity, a way of saying, this is our heritage. We won't let it disappear. A tradition that outsiders once mocked is now something people fight to keep. And that tension between change and pride, between the modern world and ancient roots, that's happening right now, as you watch this. It's not a story that ended. It's a story still being written. So let's zoom out. Because when you look at the whole picture, something incredible comes into focus. First, humans have always used the body to tell stories. Long before written language, before books, before history was even recorded, people were marking themselves. Their bodies said things words couldn't. This wasn't primitive, it was profound. Second, the idea of beauty is way bigger than we think. What one culture finds shocking, another finds gorgeous. And that should humble us. Because it means our beauty standards, the ones we treat as obvious and permanent, they're just one version out of thousands. Third, the need to belong is ancient and universal. Every single culture we looked at used this tradition to answer one question. Who are we? And who am I within it? That need isn't modern. It isn't new. It's stitched into who we are as a species. We build museums for ancient crowns and jewels. We make documentary after documentary about kings and empires, but the intimate, personal, deeply human traditions, the ones that shaped how ordinary people saw themselves and their own beauty, those barely get a mention, like something too strange to look at directly. But they shouldn't be, because this is one of the most beautiful human stories there is. It stretches across continents, across thousands of years, across cultures that never once met, and they all arrived at the same strange, powerful idea that the human face is a canvas, and that beauty, identity, and belonging are worth wearing right there for the whole world to see. That's not weird. That's fascinating. So next time someone sees a photo and makes a face, you can just smile and tell them the real story, the story they never bothered to learn.